Okay, so I was explaining the OU precedence, right? So
Oh,
you can mention like the first priority will be OU policies, then domain level policies, then site policies. Then in the last we always use the Citrix policies. We never use the Citrix policies, the local Citrix policies, which we can get from the Citrix Studio. Okay, so our priority will always be always to use OU level policies, then domain level, then site level. Always we use the GPO, group policy objects, from Windows servers, right? And this is from the Citrix Studio. So if you ever log in into the Citrix Studio console, you will get one folder there called policies, right? So rarely we use Citrix policies. We only use it Citrix for the virtualization perspective. And in the last, we will use the local GPU. So what is local GPU? Like if I open GPU edit in my laptop, GPU edit,
GP update.
no, why update? GPU update is a
No,
command.
sir. For after.
GPU update
Yes,
is a command to update the group policies. Like GPU edit is a local group policy editor. So just suppose if I'm not having any domain controller, right? So in that case, what we can do, why I can configure local policies as well in my laptop, but I'm not going to restrict anything by my local to my local laptop with the help of local policies. This is just for an example, right? So this is a similar question. This is a most common question: how VDI will register to the controller? Explain how VDI registration issue resolve in your infrastructure, right? So have you ever worked on such kind of issue? If someone is reporting that VDI is not getting registered, what you will do in that case? Any answer? No.
yes, sir. We just reboot the that particular server. Otherwise, after rebooting it, if it is not resolved, then check
Mhm.
the time of the server and the VDA. Both uh, time should be matches on both sides, on both server and VDA.
If machine is in different time zone, right? My server is located
Yes,
in
sir.
India and
Yes,
my client is in US. So how you will match the time?
sir. As for India IST, sir, client
Uh,
machine
No, you told me na we
should
have
be
to
on.
match the time, right? Right. So my server is located in US or client is in India or vice versa. So how you will match the time? Like 8 hour or 12 hour delay will be there na in time zone. So how you
10
will match?
hours, sir, just in both time and match as for US time. Client machine should be as a server. Client machine सर server के
Okay.
time के साथ relate
Okay,
करना
okay, okay. Just forget about that time. Let me know the other troubleshooting because it is not possible to like for user time it will not get automatically changed, na. That is not a big deal. We are having thousands of machines in infra, right? So no machine is going to change the time by its own, right? It is very rare conditions. If time is fine, then
है. मैं no more idea.
you have to check the connectivity with the delivery controller, right? You have to
Yes,
check out the firewall ports are opened or not, or you have to check the IP address of machine, whether it is getting the proper IP or it is configured on proper VLAN because sometimes it happens by mistake. Network guys are doing some activities and by mistake they have changed the VLAN, or they have by mistake stopped the DHCP scope. Those kind of troubleshooting you must have to perform, right? There is a complete process note for the same. I will share you, because but process note may be changed as per the company standard. I am having one standard process note, but some guys are following all the steps. Some guys are not following. Some guys have their own step. Step will be same, but the sequence they change as per the demand or as per the company. So it is almost done actually. Okay, guys, it is taking our time. So, any concern, any query so far? If anyone have, we can discuss. You know, recording the session in silent mode is not good actually.
I have a question here in
Mhm,
regards to the domain level policies, site level policies. When
mhm,
we are talking about the site level policies,
mhm.
is it in concern to the Active Directory
Yeah, it is
or
always for the Active Directory only because if
okay,
you are having multiple sites for your organization, just suppose you are having one office in US, one office in Canada, or another one in India, right? So you have to create the child domains for each location, right? So you must have to create multiple domain controller and one parent domain controller will be there. So you cannot put entire policies on your parent domain controller. You can put the policies to your child domain controllers.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so also you can get the events here, what we are doing. If there is an error, you will get the error details, right? You can dismiss all from here, or you can also filter the law events by date, or you can filter by server as well. If you have any alerts, you will get alerts here, like I think we was booting one machine earlier and boot verification was failed. That was the error why that machine was not getting booted, right? So for those kind of alerts, you will get here. If you want to update your hypervisor, you can update it from here. You just have to click on the check for update. It will automatically connect to the internet and whatever the updates available from the Citrix, right? So I think we have number of updates available. So in simple, just suppose here is the update available, like 8.25 LTSR version is available now. So right now I'm not going to update this because it will reboot my entire hypervisor, right? So just suppose if you have to push that update into your hypervisor, the size is 149 MB and you can see it is a security fix, right? So you just have to click here. You can click on download and install, and before that, what you have to do before updating any hypervisor, first you have go go to the hypervisor and you have to put it into the maintenance mode, right? So for those kind of activities, uh, these activities are the planned activities and scheduled activities, and these activity we always perform on weekends only, right? And we also have require some business approvals to do so, right? So whenever you will get any update to the hypervisor, you can update it, but you have to follow the process, whatever process is given by the organization. Okay, so now we are good here. So let me enter the password here. So what we did, we have just deploy one virtual machine on the hypervisor, nothing else. Okay, and now what we have to do, we have to configure the VDA agent here, or we have to install the VDA agent. But before installing the VDA agent, so basically when we are actually right now we are creating a master image, and in that master image we will install the VDA client, and once our master image is configured, then we will be able to create multiple virtual machines with the help of this master image in a single click. Okay, so first just you have to just suppose you have to create a master image for HR team. So what you will do, you will install all the softwares which is required by that particular team into the machine, and you can keep this machine or you can name this machine as a HR. So whenever in future If you will get some requirement to configure new machine for HR team, you can copy that machine or you can create a machine catalog from this and you can publish to user within a minutes. Okay. So I'm not going to install any application in this machine as we are configuring this as a master image. Why? Because it will be time consuming. I will let you know how to publish the default applications, what we have in this machine. So if I'm talking about the default application, that means Notepad will be there or WordPad will be there. As it is server machine, so we will get server manager or RDP client. So I will publish those kind of applications for a demonstration. Okay. And just suppose if you have to publish any Outlook or Microsoft Teams or any other application, so first you have to install into the machine. Okay, so installation will be time consuming. So I'm not going to install. And that creating the master image or creating the machine catalog, that process remains same. It doesn't matter whatever you are installing and what you want to publish. Okay. So first what we have to do, we have to join this machine into our domain. Again, it will require reboot. Okay. So first name it as a 2K19 into, let's name it as a master image. I'm not sure it will going to take that lengthy host name or not. Let's try. So I'm just joining this machine into my domain. That's it. I'm doing. In a same way, you can deploy Linux machines as well, because Mac machines are not supported by Citrix so far. Okay. And you will never get any ISO media for Mac installation, because it is available for the hardwares which is given by Apple only, right? So however, somehow you can install Windows on Mac hardwares, but that is useless for business. So earlier, MacBook Pro or iMac, they guys, uh, I think they guys had some handshake with Intel processors, right? So earlier, if you, I think in 2018 or 17, Mac devices on that time they came with the Intel processor, but now again Mac has released their M1 and M2 chip, so they guys are using their own processor only. So when someone asks you, is Mac supported by Citrix? Clearly say no. Okay, Mac means not the Mac address, the Apple laptops, MacBook or iMac. But for Linux, it is there. Okay. And also try to have some hands-on on the group policies as well. Okay, just try to work on the basic kind of group policies, like how to restrict the hardware and how to disable the firewall from the group policies, because you might get some questions related to group policies as well. Someone can ask you, like, if you want to disable the network firewall in local domain, so how you will do with the help of group policies. So you cannot answer like, you have to go to the server manager, then from there locally you can disable firewall. It will not work in production. Okay, so you have to go to the domain controller. There is a path, I think, into the administrative templates, then into the network, then Into the network, you will get one folder called network connections. Then into the network connections, you will get the local firewall. Over there, you will get further options like domain or local, that kind of thing. So you must have some idea for the path as well. So it is quite hard because we are having thousands of policies available in domain controller. So you have to have some overview for the basic kind of rules only, like folder redirection. So anyone have any idea what are the folder redirection and why we are using the folder redirection? No? I think I should move my entire setup to my local hardware. Yesterday I was busy actually, so I didn't get that much time to do perform the activity. And still I am using my laptop only. And also laptops are never recommended for the virtualization perspective, okay? You can try with some kind of little infra, but it will never perform as expected. Or you must have to buy a good gaming laptop with highly configured graphic card. So let me log in here with my domain user, then the password. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to install VDA agent now, and I have already logged in with the domain user account. So for the same, what we have to do, we have to mount the ISO media. Here is that is Citrix virtual apps and desktop. Okay, so I'm going to mount it, and as I told you, this is the only single ISO file given by the Citrix. With the help of that, you can configure all the core components. For PBS, different ISO media will be there. Okay, but it is, as I told you, PBS, NetScaler, and we are having multiple things. Those are the additional components. Okay, you have to pay for them if you want to use them. Okay, but these are the core components, and additional components are useless without the core components. Okay, so simply run the ISO media and you will get the similar console in some time, where you will get options to configure this machine as a delivery controller. You can configure storefront, studio, multiple things, but those things we have already configured. Okay, so here we will configure this as a master image, and we will install VDA client on this machine. And with this current release, Windows 7 machines and Windows 8 machines are not supported. Okay, with Citrix this release, you must have to use Windows 10 operating system. Windows Server 2016 works, but Windows Server 2012 will not work with this current release. If you want to, you will get some infra in some organizations where the guys still using Windows Server 2012, but they guys are using the older versions of Citrix, okay, which are not supported by Citrix anymore. So now we are getting the same options. Delivery controller we have already configured. Why we are getting delivery controller here? Because we are using the server operating system. Okay. Just suppose I'm getting some noise. Only I am getting or everyone getting?
No, sir.
Okay, it's clear now. Okay, so we are getting multiple options here. Delivery controller. So delivery controller, you can only configure delivery controller to Windows Server operating systems only. Okay. If you will run that ISO image on Windows 10, you will that particular option, it will be grayed out. Okay, you will not be able to deploy it. You will not be able to deploy director, license server, storefront. Okay, you will only this option will be available for you if you will be using Windows 10. Okay, so simply you are getting option prepare the machines and images. We have to select virtual delivery agent for multi-session OS. Why it is showing multi-session OS? Because we are using the server operating system, and in server operating system multiple users can log in at a time, right? So simply select this. And installation process will be the same. So now we are getting three options here to configure this machine. First one, to create a master image using MCS, that what we are using right now, machine creation services. If you are using PBS, Citrix provisioning services, you can select this one. Or if you are using any physical machine, you can select this as well. Okay. So I'm going to continue with the first option.
MCS.
Click on next. Now VDA is required and mandatory. You cannot uncheck this, but this is an optional. Like if you want to deploy Citrix Workspace app, you can select or you can uncheck. So for us, it is not required for this machine. Okay, it is basically it is for the client or end user devices, not for the server. Okay, although you can deploy in server as well, but I'm not going to waste my hardware resources right now. Okay, simply click on next. Now these are the additional components. Okay, we will continue with the default one. If you are having any app server, you can check this as well. Simply click on next. Now it is asking for the delivery controller address. Okay, so let me enter ddc-2, sorry, ddc-02 dot techmtech.com. So I have to test connection. Okay, connection is fine. Add. So that means what I did, I have added this particular machine to my this delivery controller for load balancing. Okay, so every time you must have to select to which delivery controller you want to add this. Okay, also you can select the automatic option as well if you are running multiple like delivery controller, or you can do it later as well. Okay, or although at any particular time if this delivery controller goes down, you can change this as well. Okay, simply click on next. Features not required for us so far. Simply click on next. Remember those port numbers, very important. Okay, 80 80 port number is common actually, right? 80 and 443, you must have to remember, like 1494. This is a default port for Citrix, and it is used for the ISA file. Okay, .isa. Remaining ports you must have to remember. So this is the summary. Again, prerequisite is normal, like .NET framework will be required, then remote desktop connections, visual. This is the core component. Additional, actually default one are there. What we have selected, simply click on install. So this installation, why it is showing restart required? Okay, so this installation take less time, very less time, as we compared with the delivery controller when we have configured the delivery controller, right? So let's wait for it. Also, I'm getting 5 minutes remaining pop-up for this call. After this call, I will share new invite, okay? When it got disconnected, okay? So let's wait for it. So if you have any concern, anything you can ask. Okay, guys, I'm putting you on mute for 2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. So only 2 minutes are remaining. So what I'm doing, I'm terminating this meeting and I'm sharing new invite, okay? Yeah.
Okay.